through as the engine notes rise. It's McIntyre and Still on the front row. Neat and Pazik on the second row of the grid. A bit slow away is one of the four tech cars. It's a good start by McIntyre. Slotting into second position is Gabriel Still. Then Aidan Neat is in third place in the blue car with the pink coupe as they make their way round Allard for the first time and down towards the complex. This is where you hold on to your hats. There might be an attempt to the pass, bit of a lock-up, all behaving themselves so far. It's not all over yet, though, as Still tries to look around the outside. It's Will McIntyre that got the better of that start. Held off Still, good attempt from Still to go through with Aidan Neat in third.
Yeah, the two high-techs going at it in the first complex, keeping it nice and fair between them, but Neat with a good start on the back of them already, and it's a bit of a challenge coming from the CDR car in the background.
Yeah, and for second, and the CDR car a little bit further back. That's Dan Ginchard looking to try and make his way through. So much rotten luck Ginchard has had this year. Race winner from last year, runner-up in last year's ROKiT Championship. I know the driver's not overly concerned about the ROKiT Championship, but it is a target for the drivers to go in their first season. Talking of targets, we saw Louis Sharp having a look in the number 11 car, looking to try and get up on the outside. He's going to be very, very mindful of where Dion Gowder is in the 55 car. What a sight they make. Will bang you as they go through the chicane. Thankfully, I don't think anyone... Oh, big sideways moment there for Mika Abrahams, the South African who was based in Denmark last year for his racing, his first outing in British F4. He's been doing the testing. You can test these cars at a younger age. Indeed, we've got the Ginetta Junior Championship who's been testing these cars as well. Freddie Slater's been testing in F4, but he's not of age to race, as Mika Abrahams wasn't until this week. But it's McIntyre out front. Now, McIntyre and Still both looking for their first win in the Formula. Neat won last year. He's looking for his first win this year. Pazik, who's in fourth place, won yesterday's race. This is calming down reasonably well. Changed to fourth position, and through into fourth goes championship leader Louis Sharp. Good move.
Yeah, looking really good for the championship Sharp at this rate, but Gowder's making good progress from the middle of the pack in P12. He obviously started similar position in the last race and managed a podium out of it, so there's no reason he can't put a hard charge on and start bringing it to Sharp further up the field.
Yeah, the championship positions coming into this race don't reflect the fact that the previous one was a reverse grid and Gowder's got more work to do in this one. And Gowder does, though, have in his back pocket a pole position from the postponed race from, I think it was Snetterton, which will carry forward to Donington Park, which is our penultimate round of the year. That could be quite timely for him. And there is also, we believe, a potential for a judicial hanging over the result of race number 2, as perhaps ever there might be. But we'll keep you posted on how that goes as we look briefly at Keil Alibi in 9th position. And going into the complex once again. So McIntyre still out front. Donato Lee in the number 6, the young Japanese driver, up ahead of Ginchard. Off the track goes the number 8 car. Having a problem, which is Kai Darianani. He was having issues in race number 1. Relatively inexperienced driver coming in because of he actually bought a rig. He's got some broken suspension. Was that Dion Gowder? Pointing the screen. Was that Dion having problems as well? Kai will nurse the car round. It is, isn't it? Good spot, Jamie Caroline. So Dion Gowder, and that's good news for Louis Sharp. Not what he wants to see happen to his teammate. He wants to beat him on track, but that's going to be a little bit of a breathing space on the points.
Yeah, a bit of a breathing space for Louis now, but I feel guilty for the commentator's curse. He'd have a good charge, but yeah, Louis now just needs to... He might see him out on track and he might know that he can just take the points that he has now, but he seems to have the pace to take it to the cars in front. But McIntyre stretching his lead and still just set the fastest lap of the race. As I say that, I'm going to stop talking now.
No, you're all right. That's a good spot. Yeah, still fastest lap of the race in P2. McIntyre cannot rest on his laurels here. Neat in third, looking for a podium. We're going to have a challenge on here. Is that Fairclough having a look at Ginchard? Has a look down the inside line. It's going to convert to the outside for the next part of the complex. Cracking race going on between the pair of them. Akil Alibi is right behind them. He'll be going past the part where he was off track, squeezed off track earlier on. Then it's Fairclough's teammate Sonny Smith. James Higgins is next up. James was ruining qualifying, and just how close it is in this championship. He's adrift of this battle. Wide moment there for Fairclough, trying to get as much momentum as he can as they head down towards Church to close in on Ginchard ahead of him. Let's see whether he can do it. Still with the fastest lap. They'll tick another one off in a moment. Very nearly at 1/4 distance, this 20-minute race. Let's see what Fairclough can do now. He's in the 87 car, won the championship drive through a sim racing competition. He's a very useful driver from Saloon Cars, as we mentioned before. And Akil Alibi coming under pressure from Sonny Smith. Now James Higgins in the Fortec car, that's the red and white car with the green trim, is coming through as well. Higgins has got a good run, looks to the outside run here on Sonny Smith, but I don't think he's got enough momentum, and Sonny will have that covered off. But Higgins is with them for the battle. Meanwhile, back to Fairclough, having a very good look here at Dan Ginchard, multi-karting champion, of course, Ginchard, and coming to Chris Dittman Racing this year. It's not working out for him at the moment, results-wise. I said not had the luck, but we were kind of expecting perhaps by this point for Chris Dittman Racing to have had an outright win with an experienced driver like Dan Ginchard on board, but it hasn't paid off for them so far. Ginchard working hard now, but he really has got the faster-looking JHR car in the old spec. JHR were very quick around here the last couple of years, weren't they, Jamie?
Yeah, they had James Headley win all 3 races in one weekend here, and previous championship winners as well, with Matt Rees. So yeah, showing good pace so far. As we mentioned, pace, you've got the two high-techs going, getting a bit of a gap over Neat, and still to going Purtle in sector 1 as well, and then McIntyre just taking a bit out of him in sector 2, so these two will be trying to push away, maybe trying to work together.
Here comes Fairclough, looks to the outside. This is brave stuff from him, not quite room for it, but fair play. He's showing his nose, showing his cards, but now having a go on the outside is Alibi, looking to go back into it. So Fairclough on the inside. This is now allowing Ginchard to get away with it as Sonny Smith goes through and past Alibi. And Sonny Smith's now looking at his teammate Alibi coming back into the mix as well. Alibi relegated, Sonny Smith coming through. James Higgins will get in the mix as well. Into the complex they go again. Higgins around the outside. He's going to grab the place back here from the 72 of Sonny Smith. Smith will try and hold on, dives back down the inside again, and Alibi might see an open door as well. This is almost a repeat of what we saw in race number 1, except I think it was Tarinani in the middle. I can't remember who Biggie in the middle was earlier on. But Akil Alibi is in a similar situation to what he was in race number 1. But Sonny Smith giving him more room than we saw Akil have earlier on, and goes through, sets up that inside line. So after an attack from Sonny Smith, a good one, a good response from Akil Alibi.
Yeah, it's a good response from Alibi. Managed to pick off, I think, the CDR and Sonny Smith there, and it's just gives Fairclough a bit of breathing room as well. The two teammates that were going at it the lap before, and we've got the CDR car coming on the attack to Smith as well. Yeah,
they're all really getting stuck in now, so terrific amount of battling going on. It's still McIntyre from Still, the gap half a second between the pair of them. And that 23 car is Gustav Johnson, who goes through. Good stuff from Johnson. That car is, and driver, very much on form at the moment, but Sonny Smith's going to attack back to the outside line. As coming up as well is Mika Abrahams in the first of the white and red Vortex. Down behind me is James Higgins. So Abrahams has got through and past James Higgins now. That significantly is actually also the battle for the last championship point. Only one championship point to go between them. McIntyre gets the fastest lap, the race leader responding as Sonny Smith goes through. Sonny Smith finds the gap, goes through, but he's got a lot of work. Abrahams goes through as well. And then it's Johnson running second in the rookie. Still will get the rookie championship lead back at the moment, the way things stand. But now it's Abrahams having a look on the outside of Sonny Smith in the JHR, the black JHR car, who manages to hold on to that. But look how much this battling has slowed them down and how much they've dropped away from the car in front. Akil Alibi is starting to get away from them because they're squabbling, they're slowing each other up, compromising speed, and it's allowing the other drivers to come into the frame as well. Josh Irfan in the number 12 car is closing up as well. But this is classic F4 action, Jamie.
Yeah, typical action around here, side by side through the high-speed stuff around the outside of the chicane from Abrahams, just locking up. And yeah, we've got so much attention in the midfield, we've lost sight of the leaders, who are just, McIntyre just extending his lead again with the fastest lap.
3 wide across the line on the inside. It is Johnson, the Swedish rookie, who goes through. Been very happy with his car this weekend. Johnson at the front of this group. Abrahams is challenging him, 2 of the newer names in the championship. Abrahams not running with the rookie flag. He's done car racing in Denmark last year, as we mentioned. So not in these cars necessarily, or specification, but he has got that car racing experience. So not eligible for the rookie championship, but very much a UK championship rookie. So Sonny Smith is next up, then it's Josh Irfan, and then the 2 battlers there, Matteo De Paolo at the back of this group. Wonderful to see this fantastic group of cars working hard. De Paolo goes through, and with him it's James Higgins. Now this is to remind you, at the front of the field, it's Will McIntyre, who has not, thus far, as we reach the halfway stage of the race, had a win in the ROKiT F4 British Championship. He is looking for a maiden win. He's running very strongly in the championship. He's the only driver, I think, in the top 7 coming into the meeting who hadn't had a win, so it is perhaps overdue for him, and this will relieve the pressure on him. As looking on the inside now, we've got Akil Alibi trying to go through on the inside of Fairclough, who looks to the outside of Dan Ginchard, side by side as they go around. Al Arbakil's going to look on the inside, but Fairclough's gunning for this one, trying to get the... He's got it, he's through. Great move around the outside. Now Ginchard will fight back, but he's on the outside run as they go into the complex. Akil Alibi tries to come back in. Ginchard's going to have a look, first outside, then inside. Working hard, both of these guys, but Fairclough had to do an awful lot of hard work to get around the outside there.
Yeah, Ginchard didn't make it easy for him, especially through turn 1. You could see bits of rubble and marbles coming off the ground after Ginchard just made a little mistake at the chicane, and that just compromised his exit all the way to the complex. And now he's under pressure from Alibi, who's been good through the high-speed stuff. We've seen him overtake a few people already. And like you said earlier, there's just 2 cars fighting it out together, and then the car that was fighting 3-4 corners before has now got a massive gap.
Yeah, absolutely away. Again, a classic underline of how it all works. So 4th and 5th now, and we're looking at Jimmy Pazik. The Aussie won the first race of the weekend in car number 4, and it's the Aussie beat the Kiwi here. Kiwi in, needless to say, the black and white number 11 car. And Louis Sharp's dad, Jason, as ever, busy watching the action and thoroughly enjoying his time working and living in the UK. Helped to guide his son through the Formula route as we look at Jimmy Pazik going through and chasing well. Still McIntyre the fastest lap. The gap 0.8 of a second over Gabe Stilp, who leads the rookie category. And this, I guess, when you get the likes of Gabe Stilp from the rookies getting up and being on the overall podium, that's where the rookie championship becomes less appealing for them, and they're more interested in the overall wins.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job on the rookie side of things, and me and you were only talking about how good a job the rookies have done this year, and he is an outright rookie. He's never done anything before, and the rookies we're talking about are the Ginetta Junior drivers' first years in F4, and the second they start getting some momentum and the overall championships in their sights, they just shift. Oh,
nice save there from Sherwood-ish.
Lovely save.
Very solid. What a fantastic shot. That shows you the commitment that you need as a driver of these cars.
Yeah, I mean, you come through that first part of the chicane and the car's bottoming out. You almost smell the wood afterwards when it's been scraping, and then you have a load of the second curve and the third. The car takes a real pounding through there, and this car doesn't quite react to the curves as nice as the old car. The old car was almost touring car spec through there, but it really shows how aggressive you can be in this through the chicane.
Sonny Smith having a look on the inside of Mika Abrahams, who has to straight line. They both do it. In the interests of safety, straight lining it is okay. The Clarks make that very clear. You can't make a habit of it, but you know, if there's an instant where you're going to clatter into another car, particularly in open wheelers, then it's understood that you can do that. You don't see too much of it in this because the driving standards thus far have been very, very high indeed. As we continue to focus on this battle, Abrahams still putting the pressure on Sonny Smith right in the mix of things there. So it's the 29 car still out front of this group. McIntyre leads still. Neat in third. It's going to be a good podium for Neat here if he can hang on to that as the 2 rookies go side by side as well. Let's see how this one is going to pan out. And through on the inside goes to Paolo, and that is for 3rd place in the rookie podium. Dan Ginchard working hard as well. Oh, Abrahams gets a lock up. There he goes. Bounces over. Not good for your back, I'd imagine, either.
Nor the tub. You see it just bottoming out and going a little bit airborne there.
That's the thing, you see. You're a youngster, right? And you talk about the car getting the damage. No, you still are, certainly relative to me. I'm thinking about bad backs because of a certain age, and you're more worried about the car. That sums it up, doesn't it?
No, a typical driver, we care more about damage to the car than ourselves. But yeah, I mean, you can't get away with it. It's just you have to put a new skid on that a bit more to the budget in the week.
That's what they've got to do. McIntyre still out front. Gabe still second. Aidan Lee in third. They're strung out. McIntyre will be very, very happy with that indeed. It's always good when you get a first win off the fastest off the front races rather than a reverse. A big lock up there for Jaden Parriott. Good to see Jaden back. He wanted to race last time at Snetterton. Remember, had an incident in race 1, damaged his wrist, and they wanted to make sure that there wasn't break or fracture damage, so he needed to get sort of certified x-rays before he could get back in the car, and he said he was okay, wanted to race and believed he would have been fit to race. The x-ray showed he was okay, but he's actually still strapped up, so it was probably a good decision from Doc Trafford and the team here to keep him safe, which is the main thing that the drivers want. Fairclough's got fastest lap now. He's on the move, 7th place. Motor fastest lap potentially for the 87 car. He goes purple, so that's an extra championship point. McIntyre still up front. Quick reminder, we saw him racing in Ginetta Juniors last year, was the rookie champion, so won a part in his first year, was second outright in the championship. Couldn't really see the point in going back to Ginetta Junior to win the overall championship when he was second, so comes into F4 this year. And he's showing us great stuff as well. So here's our new fastest lap setter, Deegan Fairclough. Good hard charger, great that he's got this opportunity that ROKiT put on the table for the youngsters who are going sim racing. And for me, appropriate that we had someone that was already involved in the racing fraternity who came through and won it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some sim stuff with him, pre-event stuff, and he's so fast. It always baffles me when he's on there. But he's doing a good job this weekend, and it is a great thing that ROKiT put together. They sponsor the championship. It's good that they put a car in their own championship. And knowing Deegan, his mum, his dad, his family, they live local to me, and it is cool. It's cool to see where he is. He was racing Fiesta Juniors last year, and to get the opportunity to race F4 for the year is, well, it's one of a kind. I don't think anyone else does it elsewhere.
There's no run. We've spoken in the past about the Ginetta Junior Scholarship, but to come and race single-seaters on the FIA certified ladder is a mega opportunity for him, and I hope he gets the opportunity to develop further as we again rightly have a look at the race leader, Will McIntyre, a product of Ginetta Juniors, now into F4 and secured pole position. This is the first meeting we've had this year where we haven't had double pole setters. We had Jimmy Pazik setting pole for race 1 of the weekend. This race was the fastest qualifying lap, so this is the one that we now work towards. We kind of build the narrative towards getting to the race where the man who's fastest at the beginning of the meeting takes his or her place on the front of the grid. That's what McIntyre earned in qualifying, and he's certainly making very good use of that at the moment, and potentially with 3 minutes to go heading possibly for a first win. There is Dan Ginchard now down in 9th place, still in the points. Ginchard down behind him, 23 car of Gustav Johnson. Ahead of them, Akil Alibi. We saw James Higgins in the pits earlier on. We've now got another car in the pits. There's 3 minutes to go. McIntyre here though, Jamie, to my mind, I don't want to curse the commentator in, I'm not asking you to, but everything's right so far.
So far he's done a great job. He's managed the gap. He seems to, every time Stilp takes a bit out of him, he just has that little bit more left in the tank, and like you said, we don't want to jinx him. I've done enough of that this race, and where he's at now compared to Sharp, it should give him the championship lead going into Alton Park as well.
Should do that, shouldn't it? Here we go though, another rookie in the mix here, which is Gustav Johnson, the yellow background number. The green ringers chasing Dan Ginchard, so second-year driver being chased by first-year driver, and I've got to say the 23 car looks strong here, as does the Swede driving it, putting pressure on for 9th place. The difference here will be 2 points and 1 point, so 2 points at the moment potentially for Ginchard. And now down behind the 23 car, we've got Sonny Smith, who wants a championship point as well. Deegan Fairclough picks up 1 point for fastest lap if he maintains that. Ginchard seeing off his teammate at the moment, the Chris Titman Racing team, with Dan Ginchard just consolidating that. He's away from Akil Alibi. When you look, I tell you what, Kanato Lee is in another 6th place again. I'm going to take that back, what I said about points, but I think position-wise, he's been very consistent, Kanato, and he's 6th position in the race. He had a 6th and a 5th in the previous 2 races, but of course when you're further down, you score slightly less points now. As Gustav Johnson looks to the outside as he come up Woodham Hill into the clutch game. Dan Ginchard is again under pressure. He had a bit of respite for around about half a lap, but the Swede has found some power. Whether that was up the hill or not, I don't know, but he certainly closed in on him a little bit further back. We check up on, further ahead, the number 7 car coming under pressure, and Aidan Neat challenging for 2nd place in the blue car. Neat's going to go through, and still got the rookie lead, but he's going to lose 2nd position here as Aidan Neat goes through for his, what could potentially be his highest finish for this season. Great move by Aidan Neat, who worked at it all year long. We've got Jimmy Pazik coming up as well in the number 4. Can Pazik now have a look at Jacob Stilp and get a wheel, making a double podium for him in the fastest off the front races this weekend? Stilp trying to come back. We know Stilp has got pace. He was P2 on the grid for both fastest off the front races, so he's got good pace around here. Looks to the outside. He's just showing Neat that he's there, that he wants to come back, but he can't quite do it. Neat's still there. Formal orderly queue in behind. Sharp in the mix as well. Jamie's pointing at the screen. St. Louis Sharp's having a go as well, and that's Kanato Lee. That was cursed to the commentator, saying how well he was doing and consistent, and problems for him. He's going to be out of it, but we're on to the final lap. Fairclough still with the fastest lap. McIntyre 4.8 seconds clear now, because the battle for 2nd has slowed them up, and it's Aidan Neat, who looks like he might have P2 now in the bag from Jacob Stilp in the number 7. Still got the rookie class win. He'll reclaim the lead, but coming up now, having a go is Louis Sharp. This is why Jamie was pointing at the screen. Side by side, Sharp won't take any undue chances, and he's going to have a look for it. He's going for the run on the outside.
Ran outside an oval, Goodwood, sorry, that's really brave, but he made it stick, ran the outside of chicane on the previous lap on, was it Pazik, I think, and yeah, he's still got some fight in him. He must have managed his tyres quite well, and now he's running outside of Church, 2 fastest corners on the track, and I think Pazik could take advantage of Stilp as well, his fellow teammate.
Yeah, super move by the championship leader. That was great stuff from Louis Sharp. Meanwhile, the race leader is heading up towards the checkered flag. It's Will McIntyre who will take a first win in the ROKiT F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. Aidan Neat takes a fine second place. Third will go to Gabe Stilp. Louis Sharp third. Gabe Stilp in 4th position from Jimmy Pazik. Deegan Fairclough retains fastest lap and takes 6th position. Akil Alibi going across the line next. Then it's going to be Dan Ginchard, and Ginchard going across the line. Ginchard gets 8th position. Mika Abraham's getting ahead of Gustav Johnson. Delight for High Tech, who have had a good weekend here, and they've got to maintain that form to the totally different Alton Park. How much of a relief, Jamie, is it going to be for Will to get that first win?
He was only talking about getting momentum as a rookie in his first year in the championship. He's finally got his first win of the season, I believe. So
yeah, it is, yeah.
Going into Alton Park, he was quick there in testing prior the other week. So yeah, it's strong. I mean, the second as a rookie you get that first win, it's like you want more and you want more, and you're always asking for more. So who knows, he could put on a charge now for the championship lead. He was in a great position to take the championship lead prior to the last few laps there, but I think it's going to put him about 9 points better off than Sharp then. So yeah, very much in the mix.
It's about 10, isn't it? So go 1-1-3, he'll go to 1-2-3. So it'll be a couple of he'll go to 1-2. Yeah, it'll be 10 points out of the lead. So we'll go a lot closer. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, math's not my strong point. So here we go, ROKiT F4 British Championship, round 12, a win to Will McIntyre. Aidan Neat in 2nd, Louis Sharp, that move crucial for the championship, getting him up into 3rd place in the later stages of the race. Gabe Stilp, cracking drive from him, 4th position ultimately, so off the main podium, but a rookie win for him. Jimmy Pazik in 5th from Deegan Fairclough, who got the fastest lap. Akil Alibi 7th from Dan Ginchard. Mika Abrahams in 9th. Gustav Johnson in 10th position. Sonny Smith 11th from Matteo De Paolo, and then Josh Irfan. Jack Sherwood 14th from Dowie De Decker. Noah Lyle, Pat Hoytson-Roder, Isaac Barashi in 18th place from Kai Darianani, and we saw problems pit-wise for Jaden Pariat in 20th place, and other issues in the race for Kanato Lee with his tyre. James Higgins in the pits, and Dion Gowder retiring earlier on and possibly losing 2nd position in the championship, which we'll catch up on in a few moments. Talking of maths, I think we went to the same school, so we can probably blame you. Oxted County, was you Oxted School?
Yeah, Oxted School.
Oh, that's it. We'll blame them for the maths. They won't thank me for that, but
and thankfully ITV have done it for us. So there we are. He has taken the championship lead there, Will McIntyre, and those 2 moves crucial maybe at the end of the year for Louis Sharp there on the last lap. So it's really heating up at the top of the standings there.
So here they are, championship standings after round 12 at Thruxton Circuit, with Will McIntyre, the new championship leader, from Louis Sharp and Dion Gowder.